sexual abuse.
Welcome back to the PM Talk Show, and right now we have as our guest Mr. Brandon Mitchell. Wow, Mr. Brandon Mitchell, from formerly an Amite High graduate, and now he's a student at the University of Arkansas. I think you are the, what do you call it?
Razorbacks.
Razorbacks?
Yes,
Are you a quarterback?
Yes, ma'am.
Quarterback for the Razorbacks, and what a compliment to Coach Foster and Amite High School. We want to congratulate you, and we understand that they're looking at you to be drafted into the NFL, but the thing that I am most proud of is that you're going to graduate with a degree and be an NFL player, so you can handle all of your money yourself. So welcome to our show, and I just want you to talk about, I want to ask you rather to talk about what influences did the program, Amite High School's program, have in your life and getting you to decide to go into the direction that you went in?
Well, it has to start with Amite High. You know, growing up being an Amite Brave, you know, that's something you always want to do. I played, you know, through those Amite Brave years, you know, from 6 all the way up to 12 years old. Played through junior high. You know, my first year I didn't play. You know, I didn't fall in love with football yet. And Coach Alden Foster got there and convinced me and told me, you know, I should go out there and play along with him and a couple of my uncles, saying, you know, football could be an outlet, even though I was a great basketball player there. And that's what I signed with to do at first with LSU. So, I mean, all the things has to go to them first, you know, convincing me to play football. But I enjoy it, you know, it taught me how to be a better person and grow up and hopefully be a better man.
Right, right, and I am so proud of you. I saw you at one of your games on TV, and when I heard the name Brandon Mitchell, I looked, but you have a beard now, and I'm looking, wow, Brandon, go shave. And my daughter, who's in law school, said, Mom, he's a grown man. And after she said that, I looked past the beard and saw, wow, you have turned into a very fine young man, and we're very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
How important do you think what you've gone through would be to sharing it with other kids who will come behind you?
You know, I think it's very essential. You know, growing up, I had those type of influences in my life. You know, looking back, you know, like guys like James Burns and Kendrick Perry, and even, you know, going back to Lester Ricard and even my cousin, you know, Alan Ricard. You know, just seeing those, you know, big examples, and, you know, Coach Alden Foster and things like that. You know, people that's been through that road, you know, helping you on your journey. You know, trying to get the same place that they've been and even beyond that. You know, learning from their mistakes and also their successes has been a big influence in my life, and it helped me a lot.
Right, and I think your grandfather and your dad and your mom, your grandmother, were big positive influences, and you're coming up in the church, so you know how to do it.
Yes,
you know how to do it, and we know that God has big things in store for you. I'm going to ask you a little trick question. Was Coach Foster mean?
Well, it depends on what side of the fence you got on with it. You know, if you came in and worked hard every day, you know, he was the greatest guy to be around. But there was times he had to get after you a couple of times. You know, you seen that with a couple of players, and he wasn't the nicest guy.
Okay, were you one of those players?
I was one of the good players, trying to set good examples for it.
Okay, all righty. I remember him having the students take a pad around to their teachers. Was that a problem for a lot of the players, a problem for you to have to do that? Well, I'm a senior. Why should I have to do that?
You know, at first, you know, it was a big culture shock. In Amite High, you know, the football players, you know, always the big guys on campus, and you know, it was a bit of a pride thing, you know, for some guys. You know, but you know, when everybody came together and had one goal, I think it wasn't a big adjustment. You know, we all believed and bought into Coach Foster and his coaching staff, and it wasn't a big adjustment.
Right, right, and that helped you. How much of what he taught you to live by, to do, how much of that helped you once you got into college, say your first semester as a freshman?
It helped me transition tremendously, you know, especially with the study hall part. You know, I've always been a student that had a great GPA in high school and things like that. You know, when he implemented a study hall session, you know, I was one of the guys like, study hall? I don't need study hall, things like that, you know, but it really helped, you know, because, you know, even having a great GPA and things like that, as soon as you get to college, you had study hall, you know, every night from 7 to 9, and everything was on a fixed schedule. You know, you saw that, you know, with the schedule that he gave us, you know, whether it was off for fall camp and then just during school, you know, going to class all day, didn't having to work out, didn't having to practice and things like that. So, you know, he helped me transition very well.
How much of what you have learned would you be willing to share with other students? I guess it's kind of a rhetorical question, but one of the things I'd like to see, what we're trying to do is to bring our school system somewhat into the 21st century, per se. But in order to do that, you know, the African adage that says it takes an entire village to raise one child. How much of that concept would you buy into, or if there are others who may see this that have made it as you're making it, would be willing to come back and share that with other young kids and let them know, especially those who don't have fathers in the home? And I'm a firm believer that a woman can't teach a boy or a young man to be a man. It takes a man to do that. And in order to do it for those kids who don't have parental, you know, two-family homes, or don't have fathers, if a group of kids came together, would yourself and maybe others, if your time would permit, on your visits when you would come back, be willing to get a group of kids and try to instill in them what Coach Foster instilled in you?
Yeah, I think we'd be, you know, very happy to do that. You know, that's the things I do up there at school during the summer, you know, with my job, you know, working at Boys and Girls Clubs and things like that. You know, that's very essential, and you have to start with that. That's the foundation, especially for little boys, you know, seeing that male figure in their life, you know, whether that they're, you know, they're fan or they're fans of that person. You know, a lot of kids, you know, grow up looking in NBA and NFL for those role models they don't have in homes, whether they're grandfathers, your pastors, and your coaches. And that's something I always did. You know, although I know I had a great father in my home, I still looked at my uncles and my grandfather, you know, mostly, you know, for those big male influences in my life.
Right, right. And that was very important. So when the times got hard, you were able to reflect back on some of the teachings that you got from family, from persons like Coach Foster, and it helped you, with God's help, to get to where you are right now. And I really cannot stress how happy I am, because you were in that first group of seniors after Coach Foster became coach. What was your feelings, you know, as a high school senior when you saw this transition happen? Was it a good thing, or were you a little pessimistic? Maybe it's not going to happen. What were you thinking at the time?
You know, I was really hoping it would happen, you know, especially with him being my cousin. You know, that's something you always want to do, you know, play for family. Yeah. And, you know, I had been through 3 different head coaches in 3 years. And, you know, it was a big transition. And some of those guys, they've been through 4, you know, it started off with Coach Career, then, you know, Coach Masita, then Coach Vining, you know. And especially for us to be a part of that history, you know, first black coach at Amite High School football program, you know, it was, you know, a very proud moment for us.
Right, and that's something that you can share with your kids when you get married, and let them know the importance. Now, he's your cousin, but did that have any influence, or were you treated any differently? I think I need to get that out there, than he did anybody else.
I think I got treated harder than he did anybody else, just because he was my cousin. Yeah. There was a lot of times, you know, he got after me, you know, just to make an example. You know, you have to start with the leader at the top. You know, especially being a quarterback. You know, you can't show any favoritism, because, you know, however he gets after me, you know, either that's going to make my teammates, you know, rally behind me, or fall back against me.
How much did you have to do with instilling the team working together as a team in high school, and then when you got to college as a quarterback?
You know, it starts with the you know, head coach, and then it trickles down to the quarterback. You know, we don't have coaches on the field, so it has to start with you. Have to be a coach on the field. You know, that's something you instill with each class. You know, you with each class has that quarterback that they came in with, and that's what they look to be the leader. Although everybody, you know, has one goal and one mindset as a team. But, you know, it starts with all-season workouts, you know, with one another, always hanging out, you know, whether it's going to class with each other, study hall, and things like that. You have to be the first one there and the last one to leave at all times. Yeah.
Knowing that you will be drafted, have you decided which team that you would like to play for, or can you say?
Well, I have no power over that. You know, whoever wants to take me, I'll be more than happy to go. It's always been
as long as the money is right, huh?
It's always been a goal of mine, you know, to go play professional sports, whether it's basketball or football. And right now I'm on track to do that, and I just keep working hard every day until I achieve that goal.
and you're going to be good, and you're going to make me want to learn more about football. Because the only thing I really realize is when you make a touchdown. All the other stuff, maybe you can explain to me, why is it that everybody runs in the same huddle for the ball? Why, to me, you should be running away and you can't get it, but everybody jumps down on you, and I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yes,
but charge it up to me being a woman, don't know that much about sports, but I got the touchdown though. I know when I saw you. Part. Yeah, I saw you when you made it. But I really can't stress how proud we are of you. And we want to thank you for being that positive role model that kids need to see in this day and time, because you have the thing with the pants around the behind, and just doing a lot of things that they don't need to do, not realizing that one day that could stop them from positive futures. So it's our hope and our prayer that they will look at people like yourselves and like others who will have made it, and they can see a positive role model and want to do something and know that grades are important. And just tell me in your own words, how important was what he did for you, and how important is education to you that's leading you in the direction that you're going in? I
think education, is the most important part. You can't even get to playing football without having education first. Right. And for him, like I say, just reminiscing about it. Starting with the study hall thing, that's something I really, I kind of took for granted, but then when getting to college, I called him, told him like, thank you for that, Yeah. And even with my parents, it's something they used to always make me do, Brandon, get your homework done and things like that. And it's been essential for me, it's been a blessing, just being able to say that I went to college, and now I'm trying to be one of the first ones to graduate at a big time college, and get a business marketing degree and things like that. And it's been a fun ride. I'm enjoying it
right. You even got the right degree for the right money you're going to be making, so you'll be able to take care of yourself. Well, we want to thank you for coming. Thank you for accomplishing those things that you set out to accomplish, and hopefully when other kids see this film, once it airs and everybody else sees it that's involved in the school system, they will know that the Bible asks the question, is there any good thing that can come out of Jerusalem? So I asked the question, was there any good thing that can come out of Amite and Amite High? And I say yes, because you're here. You're here and you're making a positive difference. So thank you. I'll be watching you play, and certainly when you get drafted into the pros, I'll be watching you then. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations. We want to thank Coach Alden Foster and Mr. Brandon Mitchell, who is a former graduate of Amite High School. Coach Foster is the head coach of Amite High School, and we want to thank both of them for coming and being guests on our show, and we trust that you will enjoy the interviews. And for those young people who will see the interviews, look at the positive things that can come out of getting a good quality education. But thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you next time on the PM Talk Show.